It's really the mindset of that person. It's the understanding of what entrepreneurism is all about. It's having a vision, it's having role models of other people in your life that espouse sort of the entrepreneurial principles that allow people to be successful. I know when I was in school, I mean, I'd heard the word entrepreneur. I don't know that I had any clear understanding of what that meant as a 20-ish year old student in college or even in my mid 20s in dental school. Now that I'm much older, I mean, I do have an understanding, I have good examples of people out in the workplace that have succeeded with unique sets of entrepreneurial skills that you just don't see in other people. They have a higher level of understanding of what it means to be an entrepreneur. They have models, they have systems, they have things that they have cataloged in their life so far, no matter what age they are, and they draw upon those. So it's not just enough to know what the definition of an entrepreneur, somebody who takes a financial risk, somebody that excels at that has many other levels of understanding of what that means, especially in dentistry when you have 140, 150,000 people essentially doing the same thing. It takes some real vision to distinguish yourself from that large of group of intelligent, successful, motivated, driven people. So it's the mindset and your level of understanding of what it means to be an entrepreneur. So in dental school, for example, a lot of, the vast majority of dental students, it's a very demanding curriculum. It's very demanding hours. I mean, people come out of college used to going to class 2 or 3 hours a day, maybe having a lab. I mean, dental school, in my experience, was 8 to 5 classes, lab, clinical things. So for most dental students, it's all they can manage, do all the things they need to advance their skills, pass their board examinations, and to layer on top of that you're going to create this entrepreneurial vision for the day you step out of school, and you're going to be highly successful on your own. It's a very difficult thing to juggle those two things together. Maybe they come from a family of people in dentistry, or they come from business people, or for whatever reason in their life they worked as a younger person at a part-time job with somebody that had just great entrepreneurial skills and principles and the way they live their life, and they've maybe are modeling some of that. But it's a handful of people, maybe 5% of a senior dental class spends a lot of time envisioning what they're going to do when they get out, advancing maybe a new facility process, creating systems and all kinds of things that they're going to do the day they walk out of school. For the vast majority of dental students, it's just, let's get out of dental school. Let's pass all our board examinations, and then we'll deal with our rest of our life as a dental provider once we're out of here. Well, we all have different experiences. I'm sit here and talk about myself, and hopefully this is helpful to some of our dentists out there that are listening to this. But so, for example, I work in a factory as a younger person. In high school, there was a factory in a small town I was in. They canned vegetables. They canned peas and beans. It was not fun. So you worked a big, huge thing. You were hourly. You punched a clock. You had no control over your environment. You had no say. It was just manual labor. And it was kind of an interesting, freeing experience where you learn, like, I sure don't want to do this the rest of my life. And whatever I do, I want some autonomy, some ability to manage my environment, to set my hours, to control my schedule, all those kinds of things. Well, I learned at a very early age I didn't want to be an hourly factory worker. I wanted to do something where I could take my strengths and talents and turn those into things. So anybody with an entrepreneurial vision, my guess is, I would believe that at some point in their careers they were in some kind of job situation where they that wasn't agreeable to them, that wasn't their vision for how they were going to live their life, and they were motivated to get out and do something unique, to be able to manage their environment, be able to create and do things the way that they saw. But I would imagine that's typical. And many dentists, even when they're out of school, have a few years as an employee, or get a taste, get an experience of what it's like to work under the auspices of somebody else, and realize that wasn't their career vision. There's a couple, actually. There's two main categories of challenges to a dentist becoming an entrepreneur, or being an entrepreneur, advancing as an entrepreneur. One is financial. So, for example, lenders, you come with some unique idea how you're going to distinguish yourself as an entrepreneur, especially right out of dental school. If you have some unique vision that most people haven't thought of, you come out of dental school a couple of days and you go to a lender and, oh, I got this great idea. I'm going to bring a bunch of specialists together. I'm going to open up several satellite branches. I'm going to stay open all night long in certain locations. I'm going to heavily market and I need $3 million. Well, you're probably not going to get it. You're not going to get it because there's no examples. There's no, in their view, a very risky loan, and they would have all kinds of parameters. So, but it's financial. How do I do something unique that nobody else has done and prove to lending people that this is a viable option, a worthy investment on their part? And then the second is really, it's the time, energy, investment to make those things happen. How do I do that on top of either getting through dental school, which is a full-time job, all day long, some studying, doing lab work at night, or as a dentist who at a minimum is, probably doing 32 hours of chair time and then spend another 6 or 8 hours managing their business activity. So on top of that, I'm going to layer over a whole complex vision of some entrepreneurial complex vision that I'm going to create. I'm going to find people to help me with it. I'm going to design it, finance it, construct it, potentially get lending for it. Where do I find time to do that? So it takes a unique mindset and individual to overcome those two challenges of the financial side and the time, energy, investment to distinguish yourself as an entrepreneur in the dental profession.